Chapter 3. The Gods. Above the ceiling, over the palace, into the sky, through the clouds, and into a realm mere mortals dream of seeing, sits a kingdom. The kingdom is neither here nor there. There is no day nor night, but a perfect blend of sun and moon. The stars shine brightly amongst a perfect moon that is always full. The temple in the kingdom itself is a sphere. It spins slowly in many ways, transforming shapes and colors. The sphere is ever-changing into the animal forms of the gods and goddesses, then back into a sphere. Above the transforming temple are flying creatures. As the sphere continually changes from one shape and back into a ball, one of the creatures breaks away from its flock and flies into the mouth of the lion. Through the gold stone and torchlit corridors, it flies until it reaches an open chamber. Once there, it lands on a pillar and releases a small roar, staring down at the occupants below. The flying creature resembles a baby lion with wings. It sits back on its hind legs, scratching its goatee. It is about to take flight when it goes rigid and starts floating down. The creature lands in the outstretched, delicate hands of a female. It tries biting her, but she has a firm grip on it. She giggles like a schoolchild with a secret as she rubs the creature's head, and it goes into a sort of slumber, curling up in her lap. "Good little Sickme. Sickmes are the cutest little things," the female says, kissing its head. One could not say this female is simply beautiful, because beauty is a goddess. Her high cheekbones, glowing bronze skin, and the markings around her eyes that so many mortals try to create with makeup is pristine. She stares ahead with the most intriguing emerald eyes. She is more than perfection, because she is Isis, the most worshipped goddess in all of Egypt. She rubs her frizzy gold curls as she moves her head around to observe the others around the table. The beauty in the temple room exuberates power, authority, and lust for a mere mortal. "Is there a problem?" Isis asks as she continues to love on the Sickme creature. The gods and goddesses say nothing. Not that they fear her, but no one ever wants to openly argue with Isis. It is a battle not worth attempting. There are other ways to get to her. "Well then, let us begin. Hathor, please." The goddess next to Isis nods her head. Her black and white horns gleam with light from the sun disk that shimmers between them. Hathor is as alluring as Isis. Being that her earth animal is the cow, she is a beautiful representation. Her eyes are a dark black, her hair a mixture of black and white tangles. She blows across the table, and it begins to shimmer, changing into many colors. Hathor blows again, and the table settles and locks on pure gold. "I called this meeting because a war is upon our mortal brothers and sisters. Hathor and I have agreed that we must intervene." A god coughs. "Do you have something you wish to say, Anpu?" Hathor asks, eyes locked on the god. He wears a heavy black-hooded robe these days. His appearance is not what it used to be. His eyes do not show, only his lips, which look a nasty shade of decaying gray. "Anubis is my name, Hathor," he speaks in a deep, murderous voice. "Because the humans did not decipher it correctly. They are being taught wrong. The mortals who walked with us are dying out. They pronounce Isis with an S when it is Isis. We will not acknowledge that." The god lets out a low, deep breath. "What must we all do to try to save the humans, Isis?" he asks, cutting Hathor off. "Please, enlighten us with how we keep the mortals from fighting and entering the other world. Montu, any suggestions? Any ideas on how to prevent a war, being that you are the god of war and all?" The god of war floats above his seat. The word remarkable is not enough to describe him. His features are of a man and a falcon. He rubs his talon-like hands with his jet-black mane of hair and spreads his large golden-red wings. "I say, let them fight. We have no business entering in human affairs anymore." He and the god of death nod at one another. "Wahet, Nikbe, what say you?" Anubis asks. Isis turns her attention to the two goddesses across from Hathor. The sisters glance from one another and then to others around the table. Their movements are primal. Then both look to Easy's, their eyes slits of deep abyss, their locks hanging loosely around their faces. They each wear a crown that slightly glow. Wahet's cobra coils at the top of her red crown. Nikbe's vulture looks ready to take flight from her white crown. They are the powerful protectors of Upper and Lower Egypt. "What is this meeting all about, Easy's? The humans fight and kill each other occasionally. How is this any different?" Wahet asks. "My sister speaks the truth," Nikbe chimes in. "Our worshippers will pray, and we will aid who we want in the situation. It shall pass," Sikre speaks. She is an older goddess, but her beauty is as otherworldly as the others. Her white hair is pulled into a bun, her gray eyes a calm storm. She glares upon the others sternly, with a scorpion wrapped around her head. "Mother, what is it you want to tell us?" Isis turns to her son, who sits on the other side of her. Her breath catches as she glances at Horus, the third pharaoh to ever grace Egypt. He gave his life for the humans, which also makes him the most revered and loved god in the realm. His beauty reflects her own astonishing features, except he seems to glow with something that none of the other gods have. Everything about Horus is melodic, from his soft brown eyes, gentle lips, and smooth skin. He sits on his chair, bare-chested, no gold jewels or familiars, just him. Isis peers down at the Sikmi in her lap. She lifts her light and tosses it in the air. The little thing flies up and out of the chamber. Isis watches with longing. She brings her thoughts back to the situation at hand, glancing over the seat next to Horus that is empty with a scorch mark on it. Isis snaps out of her thoughts, looking around, now in control of her emotions. "We must intervene in this war because it will affect us all. For the first time, the gods may be jeopardized." Chaos explodes around the table. This is impossible. They are gods. They create life. They can take life. They cannot be taken down. Isis is wrong. Isis claps her hands, and a ripple goes around the room. Silence falls. She then places her hands on the table, and the gold washes away. The goddesses and gods peer down into the table, seeing clouds, and then they see the palace and the Nubians hard at work. She washes her hands over the table, and time rewinds. It is a time when Amun-Ra reigned as pharaoh on earth. They watch as he has an affair with a human woman, who dies giving birth. "What does Amun's mistakes have to do with us?" a leopard-faced god questioned. "During your time on earth, I care, remember the tale about the Amulets of Princess Amun-Ra?" Hathor asks. The gods and goddesses whisper among themselves. Montu and Anubis do not take part in any of the chatter. They both sit in silence, hungry for more information. Isis waves her hand across the table, and the three amulets appear. The scarab beetle burns green. The eye flashes before them a golden sun red. The ankh bursts forward a rich purple. Amun created them for his love. A human girl heard of them and set out on a quest to find them. She succeeded with help. Someone betrayed. "Osiris was that traitor. Go on, say it," Anubis taunts, grinning at her. Isis shakes it off and continues. "As we all know, Osiris betrayed us all when he stole the amulets and tried to possess their power for himself. Amun fashioned these amulets from the skin he lives in god form, and with his blood, making these objects incredibly powerful and dangerous. Whoever possesses the amulets can come into our kingdom. They will have access to control universes." "But they are destroyed! You said they were destroyed!" Sikre says, visibly angry, the scorpion on her head seeming to grow. "We could not destroy them. We had them hidden where no man nor god could find them. Not even us," Hathor says. The room erupts again. Isis lets everyone speak over one another for a moment. She then shoots golden sparks from her hands, and the room goes silent once more. "Sure, we all have our secrets, but we all know what obtaining Amun's blood can do. Power none of us can handle," Sikre says. "Speak for yourself," Montu replies. Isis knows Sikre speaks the truth. She thinks of what she did to Amun herself, which no one knows, not even him. She will live with that secret for eternity. If anyone ever found out, she would be stripped of her titles, temples, and be imprisoned with Osiris, her love. What happened to the amulets, Easies? The last we all saw of them, Hathor let out her wild side. Talk about unnecessary bloodshed. Anubis smirks at Hathor, who lowers her hand in shame. Nevertheless, the question gets the attention in the room, all eyes on Easies. A meeting without me? Says a calm voice that vibrates through them. The double doors open and in glides two other gods. One is a boyish bouncy type of fellow, with a bright light that gleams around him, bringing calmness and literally a cool feeling into the room. He is Shu, the god of elements and light. He winks at the sisters, who turn away from him with distaste. That's okay, ladies. We have forever. He winks their way again. The other god is none other than Amun-Ra, the god of all creation of Egypt. He walks as if he is floating, his long white and gold robe fluttering behind him. He wears a white cloth headdress with the sun alight on it over Egypt. He goes to the head of the table, where Shu sits, giving him a warning look. Shu scrambles into another seat as Amun-Ra takes his place and scrutinizes all who are present. Ra appears to be an elder man of about 60 akets of age. Ra is the sun by day and the moon by night. He is many other gods, as he is many other entities. In this moment, he looks like a man. No gods or goddesses have a physical form. They choose at random what to look like. He smiles around the table. He has 3 freckles under each eye, and his braided goatee touches the table. When he smiles, the skin around his heavy eyelids crinkle. Father, I am sorry. I wanted to talk it over with the council first. Not all are aware of the story in its entirety. I do not understand it all myself. The others are not startled by Amun-Ra's appearance. He may be their patriarch, but a lot of problems are always linked to the sun god. Amun has spent so much time in human form that he has adopted many of their flaws. Or maybe the humans adopted their god's flaws? Yes, I fashioned 3 precious amulets from my skin, and my blood can make them work in ways not even I knew possible. Amun starts. A human male is after them. They are hidden on Geb. We must find them before he does. Amun, but... Amun-Ra places his hand up, stopping Iker. That is all I will answer to. Listen closely to your followers. They will be praying for miracles, and I am sure the male who seeks the amulets worships a god or goddess in this room. Amun then nods to Shu. Under the table, Shu flicks his wrist, and a thin strip of yellow light comes from him. It wraps a tendril around Nikbe, Wahet, Sikre, Hathor, and Horus. None of the gods move or say anything. I think I will depart to the Duat, or as the humans say, Netherworld, Anubis states as he stands, and a beam of black light shoots from above. He steps inside the beam and is gone instantly. Montu summons a red beam of light. He flies around the room, then enters his beam, leaving a cry behind as he disappears. The others present summon their lights and leave too. Iker considers those still seated, suspicion in his golden eyes as a beam of white light carries him away. Amun waves his hand, and the double doors slam shut, as Easies casts a ripple effect throughout the room. Get your light off of me now, Shu, Wahet hisses. I knew there was more to this. Amun, you have done it again. With the danger your lust has caused in the last 450 Earth Akets alone, no wonder the humans cannot get it right. They learn from you, Sikre scolds him. Why are you not trusting Anpu and Montu? They are part of the Council of 15, Nikbe asks Easies. Mot, Bastet, and Kepri, where are they? This is dangerous, Nikbe. All cannot know this truth. It will put more deities in danger, Easies says as she stares at the amulets that continue to shine through the table. Osiris not only betrayed Amun and tried to use the amulets for himself, but he also aided in the creation of something more powerful than the amulets itself. 2 children were born of the amulets. With no interruptions, Easies continues. I, Hathor, and Shu bore witness, several earth deities as well. A spell was cast, seeking the help of the gods to hide the children, to watch over them and see what powers they may possess, if any. Wahet hisses in disbelief. Are you saying that there are 2 human children walking around with the blood, your blood, running through their veins, and we are now just being told of this? The anger in her hiss cannot be contained. Other eyes flash with the same intensity, Yet Ray does not care to respond. His amulets were created from chaos. The human was to mask them. It was not my call to share what we were swearing to do. 2 gods were chosen to watch over the children. They alone know who the children are, Hathor shoots back. You do not know, grandfather? Horus asks. Ray does not answer. He got the revenge he sought. The rest does not give him worry. Who has been protecting the children other than Mother? Isis waves away the amulets, and the palace comes back into view. They lean in closely to watch a small child crawling around the gardens, a toddler running through the palace temple, then to an older, more mature girl standing tall and proud. A white crown is placed on her head, and everyone gasps. Her name is Izira Urbani. She is the princess of Egypt and has displayed incredible intuition and psychic skills, but no real light, Isis tells them all, only speaking the half-truth. Isis has done great heka to hide the child's power from the palace folk daily, especially when the child gets mad. The color of her light is undeniable. She is the daughter of the family who captured Amun. She must be killed at once, Sikre says. We should be the ones to destroy her. She is loyal to us, Nikbe spits out. Wahat hisses at Hathor, while Hathor begins to glow a dangerous white. Sikre's scorpion whips its tail in Wahat's direction. Shu beholds the scene excitedly. Ray and Horus are merely tired of the females always fighting. She has the power to destroy us all, you said. She cannot come into her full power if she has any, Sikre defends, heat rising around her. Isis spins into the air and glows a dangerous green with sparks of gold. The twins jump on the table and begin to transform. They hiss and squawk. Sikre pushes up from her seat, a spiked tail coming from under her. She spits fire toward the sisters. Enough, Amun says in a tired voice. Every meeting ends up this way. Therefore, he doesn't hold them much. Amun begins to shake, and a bright yellow light bursts from his hands, knocking all the feuding ones down. I said enough! The others become human-like again, as they slither back into their seats. We cannot be at odds with one another in this troubling time, Hathor clears her voice. I am sorry, we did not choose who got to bear witness, Wahet. I wish you were the ones chosen. You are the eye that all of Egypt holds dear. Hathor fists her heart toward the sisters, who stand and do the same. Our apologies, Sikre. We are all sisters, Nikbe says. I take it you have the second child, then. I suspect they are immortal? Sikre asks Hathor. I do not, Hathor confides. They all gaze at Shu, who shakes his head in the negative. Then who? Horus begins, then smiles. I have not seen Thoth in many moons. Isis stands and backs away from the table. She then closes her eyes and shimmers a great green with sparks of gold. She mumbles some words in the lost language, and a pillar of light comes from below. A small man in tatty clothes is left in the spot. Run, dear boy, you run, my boy. Yes, yes, go, go. Thoth suddenly notices his new surroundings and looks at Isis in disappointment. Why did you lift the veil, Isis? Thoth asks, ignoring the chat behind him. Their birthdays are in a few days. It was time, Thoth. By the power of my name, man, what has become of you? Amun looks Thoth up and down as he and Isis join the group. Thoth looks like a man who sleeps where no Sekti would even live. His face is filthy, and he has a scraggly beard. Thoth, you may be the god of wisdom, writing, music, and history, but if you dare sit among us dressed like that, I will crush you, Sikre teases. Thoth raises his eyebrows at her, then he snaps his fingers and glows an illustrious golden brown. His robe is clean and becomes a pure white, bearing the book and pen, his markings. His beard is gone, and his gray hair is now a smooth black, pulled back into a tail. He is a young man, with dimples in his cheeks when he smiles. I missed you too, old woman, he says to Sikre, who blushes at him. Where is Mat, Mantu, and Anpu? A council meeting without the proper circle? We cannot be sure that Osiris acted alone. Wahet and Nikbe are protectors of the old and new Egypt. They would never jeopardize their people. Horus is all that life holds dear. He is no traitor. Sikre and Hathor are patrons of mothers and protectors. I trust them with my Ka. Isis feels like she has made a good choice in not taking chances with all the gods and goddesses, knowing who the children are. Something tells her that Osiris did not act alone. If the princess is the first child, who is the second? Horus asks curiously. Thoth perks up. Isis spreads light across the table as they lean in to see the second child. Chapter 4. Ninat Kano. Yes! I yell loudly as I run, gradually picking up speed and moving even faster. I leap over a tree trunk effortlessly and duck under a branch as if seen before I even entered the area. I climb up a tree quicker than a panther and leap from tree to tree. Do you see this, Dothy? I dive to the next tree. My sweaty palms slip and, oops, I'm falling, crashing through the trees, then hitting the ground, knocking the wind out of myself. I blink fast, trying to clear away the faint purple sparks zipping around my eyes, and dig my fingers into my ears to get rid of the sound of a crying cat. After a few seconds of steady breathing, I sit up and examine my body. Just a few scratches, nothing serious, and a little cut on my bare chest. I glance down at my white pants, seeing they are filthy and there's a new hole in them. I flex a little to check if I broke something. My aunt would kill me if that happened again, but all feels fine except for my bony butt. Wow, I was like 20 feet in the air, jumping from tree to tree. It's amazing how I didn't break. I shake my head, laughing, my locks slapping the sides of my face as I look around. Dothy, did you see that, my friend? No answer. I stand up, feeling a little dizzy from the fall. Dothy must have saved me. Dothy, where are you, you silly old man? I laugh, but then I narrow my eyes and frown. Never in my life has he not answered. I don't know how to explain Dothy, but, well, only I can see him. He's a tatty old man who I thought was my aunt's dad, until I realized she couldn't see him. I try not to talk to him when others are around so I don't look crazy. I tried to ignore him and pretend he wasn't there, but truth is, I like him around. I wouldn't have gotten through some tough times without him. I never worry or care about anything. I have noticed that he started flickering a little lately. He always said my 13th birthday would signify my manhood. And he may have to go away afterward, but that's 2 days away. Dothy? I hear soft cracking in the distance and perk my ears to listen, forgetting about Dothy's absence for the moment. It's a lion. As my aunt would say, my mischievous grin lights up because that's not any lion. Ishiva has been chasing me since I was 5. I don't know if that's her name, that's just what I call her. I swear she did tell me that was her name. My aunt says I'm crazy because there are no lions in the valley anymore. There was a long time ago, but the pride moved on. Our village worships a lion-headed goddess, and I think it's Ishiva. I stand where I am, hearing her grow closer. I know her moves all too well. She thinks she knows mine too, but Ishiva never catches me because, unlike her, I keep growing and changing my moves. She was born with stealth, and all her brain knows is to attack. The sun is behind me, which means it's setting. My aunt is going to tear my hide if I don't get home soon. Heck, she's going to tear me a new one anyway, because I ripped my pants and can't remember where I took my shoes off. I quietly turn and run as fast as I can, knowing Ishiva's beady eyes just locked in on the place I was seconds ago. I keep running, even when I'm out of the thick of the trees. I climb up the hill fast, then turn to observe the view behind me. The palace is far off in the distance, the sun setting behind the pyramid temple. The sun always seems to shine right on the palace folk. See, we're all Egyptians, the royals in the south and us, the so-called traders, in the east. I never listen in class, so all I know is that there are these new beings, and they were enslaved by the first mean pharaoh. My aunt says they speak a different dialect than us, and are a shade darker in skin, but nothing else makes them any different. Some Egyptians felt it was wrong and split away from the palace. That would be my village. Some of the men in my village talk of a group near the west who battle with the palace to try to free those new being people, but my aunt denies it all and tells me to get my head out the clouds. I have no opinion either way. They are not Egyptians, so why should we care? They make brilliant statues and temples, and I bet they are not treated all that bad. My eyesight is better than a falcon soaring over its prey, so I'm not surprised to see the new structures going up. I see the new statue of Pharaoh Zarmel, his queen, and their daughter, the princess. I stare at her statue. I have never seen her in person, but the statue looks perfect to me. I start to feel a little uncomfortable looking at her. I shake off the fuzzy haze that comes over me, then make my way through the trees that lead to my village. Ha! Daydreaming about the princess, as if she would ever notice me. She will never know me. Well, maybe when she is Pharaoh and I try to be a guard. Others say I will never amount to anything, so she will see me once, which might be the day she orders me to be beheaded. I laugh at the thought of my death and start running through the trees, passing a small cave that I think Shiva lives in. I slow down as I come to a clearing. On both sides, the Nile flows past. I don't know why, but this place always feels like, I don't know, it feels like something to me. I feel like me and this spot share a secret. From school, I know the Nile is important and plays some role in the making of the gods and whatever, but, well, this spot just makes me feel like something important happened to me here. I stand for a moment, taking a deep breath, listening to the river flow by. A bird is chirping somewhere above me in the trees, and a woman is crying. It's dark. She is being chased. I can hear the pursuers on big horses coming for her. Then I feel it. I'm plunged into the Nile, and I see green eyes under there. A hand reaches out for me, and then I snap back into the present. Yeah, I must have hit my head hard when I fell out the tree. I take off again at full speed, reaching the cliff that leads down to my village. Before I head down, I behold my village, Paquet. It's not really old, like most of the villages in Egypt. I honestly don't know the history of my village. Paquet is not on the maps in school. There is no grand history that happened here. I ask my aunt questions about our village, but she always says, "Why don't you make the history for us?" There is no king, no queen here, or a princess. The older Paquets lead together. That is the old ways, they say. We have no pyramids and no massive temples like all the other villages. We have one statue in town of the lion goddess, who I think is Shiva. I can see small children run through the marketplace. It is dry desert down there. It always looks like a small sandstorm is about to settle, but never does. The dust just hangs in the air. The Nile flows through this valley and encircles our village on its way to wherever else it goes. We may not be in the palace, but we get what we need from the gods. I take in a deep breath, taking in fresh gulps of dusty air. Then I glance over at the vendors out today, trying to sell their home remedies and hand-sewn linens. I see the farmers keeping close eyes on their fruits and breads, so little thieves don't steal a fruit or two. Beyond the market, I see the path to the living quarters. The view means something to me. It's not the palace, but I'm proud of my home. I skid down the hillside. Before, one could only paddleboard down. Some stone steps have been built, but I do not bother with them. I jog through the market. I run past some shepherds as my feet hit the dry, hot sand, passing them in a blur and upsetting the sheep. The shepherds wave, even though I'm long gone. Right next to a weedy bush are my school things and slippers. I quickly put on my dusty, worn sandals, then dust off my school things before running to the entrance of the housing area. Our homes are our homes. They are shabby, run down, and may need some paint, but we keep the area as clean as possible. Some of the Hawaiis and their granddaughters get together weekly to do some gardening. We have patches of green grasses and flowers because of them. They even managed a few fruit trees. Us young ones, we do our part by picking up rubbish and labor work. We do hard work, such as fixing leaks in roofs. Me personally, I do whatever my aunt makes me do. We're a community, a family. We have Paquet pride. But all in all, I still want to join the palace army someday. I'm looking at the clouds, thinking of the glory I will feel to fight for the princess when I get pushed to the ground. Then I hear laughter behind me and sigh. Anut and his stupid gang. "What were you fantasizing about, stick boy? Wishing you had muscles like the birds in the sky?" Anut teases. His friends are laughing oh so hilariously. I take a deep breath, then spit the dirt out my mouth. Usually they can't catch me because I'm fast. However, that dang princess got me daydreaming, and they caught me off guard. I suck in some bravery and face the guys. Anut stands in front of the 5 boys that flank him. They are all so tall and built. They are the best at every sport, and all the girls love them. Their heads are shaven on both sides, and the top is puffy. I like my locks, though. I spit blood out my mouth, and they laugh. I hate those perfect smiles. "Why'd you skip the race after school today, Ninok Kano?" Anut asks. "Were you with the Hawaii's again, sewing and making pottery for the village?" The other boys laugh again and congratulate Anut on being oh so funny. I notice a small group of girls gawking as well. "Congratulations, Nino," I think. "Oh, Anut, you are just so funny. Well, I wish I could stay and be the butt of all your jokes for your cackling hens, but I really need to get home." I try to walk around them, but Anut pushes me back with just one finger. I rub the spot on my chest. That's one strong finger. "Not so fast, Hoffa. Some of the guys heard round that you were saying you run faster than me." I frown, shaking my head. However, I did say that, and I can run faster than him. "What? Anut, my friend, why would I say such a thing? Everyone knows you are the best at everything." I awkwardly laugh while giving his arm a playful punch that hurts my wrist. "He did say that, Anut, I heard him," one of his friends, Trenty, says. "So, Hoffa thinks he can run, huh? Tomorrow night, out on the tracks, me and you, Hoffa." The girls gasp and laugh. I hate him, and I hate the name they have dubbed me. Hoffa is a special leaf used to put in kazi buckets that soak up most of the waste. From one of the houses nearby, 2 figures step outside. They are wearing all white, sheer covers over their faces and long black robes. They peer over at the embarrassing scene. Oh no, not them. I can't let them see me being picked on again. "Okay, Anut, me and you tomorrow. I'm gonna run so much sand in your face that people will think you're a sand man. Yeah, you're on." The lookers gasp. I brace myself for a punch, but Anut just laughs. "Tomorrow, Hoffa." I sigh as they turn to leave. "Oh, say hello to that pretty aunt of yours. When I kill you, I'll be sure to take real good care of her." Anut makes an inappropriate gesture. They all walk away laughing. I know I shouldn't, but my aunt is off limits. "Hey, Anut, I was with the old ladies again, and your mom was there, beating your undies with a large boulder. She just can't seem to get the stains out." His friends gawk at him, and the girls nearby double over in laughter. Anut advances on me, but I dart behind him and his friends, and don't even bother looking back. I know they're nowhere near me. I reach my little home, and without thinking, I leap and grab the ledge of the roof, pulling myself up. Anut reaches the bottom, finally, but I'm already around back and inside. I reach my window and climb in. I don't have wooden flaps, but a tarp that keeps some of the cold and bugs out. My room is nothing special. The 4 small walls are the color of the clay they were made of, jagged and unsmoothed. I have a small cot that I have outgrown, and a couple quilts that my aunt made for me. A pile of dirty clothes lay in a corner next to the clean ones that I have yet to fold. I toss my school things down, then creep out the room. Next to my room is my aunt's. Across from the rooms is a tiny basin that she fills with clean water several times a day for us to wash our hands and faces. I find a damp rag and hurriedly wash my face, hands, and try to get as much dirt off me as possible. I change my pants and put on a sleeveless shirt, then head down the rickety stairway. When I get to the bottom, I stop and sniff the air. The smell of meat pie and side dishes wrap around my senses like a warm quilt. The fireplace is going, and the warmth of the place makes me feel good. Our home is small, but my aunt keeps it clean. We have a comfy family room with 2 oversized chairs that we stuffed ourselves with wool. My aunt sewed the linen over them. They look dirty because the white linen has been scrubbed so much. A string of wicker candles goes around the entire room and into the kitchen to light the home at night. I never see my aunt light them, but I'm grateful she never asks for my help. The wall behind the chairs has some art on them, done by me when I was a little male. I drew the sun and some flowers. I would dream of a garden when I was younger, so I guess I tried to recreate that. The cooking area is bright, due to the only window down here. There is a large pit in the wall where the fire is started. The 2 iron pans sit on a rack inside the pit. Hanging from the ceiling are many other iron pans that my aunt is ducking around so as not to hit them as she washes something in the large basin that she has full of water and dirty cookware. By the gods, I love whack! I stumble and fall back, all home comfy feeling gone from my head. That's the 3rd time today I have fallen. My aunt walks past after slapping me like nothing just happened. "What was that for, Aunt Adala?" My aunt doesn't answer. Instead, she throws a treat down by the fireplace. Her pest of a brat cat lays nestled comfortably, staring at me as if daring me to say another word. So that cat sound I heard when I fell from the tree was Bastet. I bow to her. She has been around all my life and is extremely loyal to my aunt, as a hump on a camel's back. She is nestled on the shaggy brown hearth near the fireplace, a jet-black furball with golden irises. We have our issues. I should have been on alert since our last war on one another. I won by telling Aunt Adala that Bastet was attacked by fire ants. I had actually put them on her. She had to be shaved and soaked in cow's milk for days. I laugh a little to myself while Bastet stares through me, as if she is recalling the incident with me. 1-0, Bastet. You lead, for now. She makes some rough cat noises my way, but I ignore her as I follow my aunt into our cramped kitchen. I make to sit at the table, but the expression on my aunt's face tells me to get up and help. She is busy stirring something in a pot and checking her pie in the fire pit. I go to a wooden cupboard that Aunt Adala and I built together and take out clay dishes that we also made together. "How were studies today?" she asks, and I sigh. I hate this same old conversation. It will start well, then end in her slapping me again. "The usual, dear aunt. I was energized through algebraic studies, consecutively running through those formulas and numbers about the moon and temples all being perfectly aligned with one another like the guy who invented those equations. Oh, and then language. My gods, what a lesson, what a lesson." My aunt doesn't seem amused by my sarcastic approach. "I hate school, Adala. I don't see the point." She sighs. "Not this again, Nino. There is a point. You are a boy. I will be 13 in 2 days, Adala. I will be a man. I want to train. I want to serve Asir." She throws down her wooden stirring spoon and stares at me with wide eyes. I never met my mother. She died giving birth to me. But if Aunt Adala looks anything like her, then she was one beautiful, mad female. Adala is young. 29 Shimu have come and gone for her. She has short, curly hair, dark brown eyes, and I guess a nice body. That stupid Anut is always calling it nice. Bestow. Most of the females wear paint on their eyes, lips, and nose, but not Aunt Adala. She has a beauty that does not need enhancing. She gave up her life to raise me. No husband, no children. Just me and her. I like it that way. "No worries what your parents would think. Think of the people of this village. What they would think. What they would do to us if they heard the way you talk of the kingdom. Traitor, they would spit in our faces," she whispers. My father died shortly after my mother. He was helping the kingdom during one of the Auket seasons of flooding. He was washed away and never found. He died with no glory, no honor. I don't want to end like that. "So it's okay if I join the army in the West when I turn 13? Go off and fight?" I know the answer to this and brace myself for the fight that is about to follow, where she snatches her apron off, gets in my face, and tells me who is boss. That helping the kingdom is not what my parents would have wanted. That schooling and furthering my education to become some great philosophical guy from Egypt is the best path for me. Instead, she simply continues to stir whatever she is cooking, breathing a little deeply. Then Adala peers out the window, right into the setting sun. Her eyes usually shine with a fire of fight, if that makes sense, but right now she looks defeated. "I cannot change what has been written, can I?" She did not say this to me, I'm sure. Then she nods to whoever she is talking with before turning toward me. Nina Kano, please just try to finish the level of schooling you are in. Then after that, I will let you be the man you are destined to be. I grab a thin rag, damp it in some water, and then put it on her forehead. What is this for? She asks. You must be sick, Adala. What happened to the Adala minutes ago who whacked me in the head for jumping around trees again? She laughs a weirdly tired laugh. I'm worried. This is not how my aunt acts. Adala, what's wrong? I think it is about time I tell you something. It may be very hard to believe, but I think it is time. She sits me down at the wobbly wooden table and takes my hand as she heaves a deep sigh, and just as she is about to tell me whatever is going on with her, Bastet jumps on the table, meowing up a storm, followed by a knock on the door. They do not wait for us to open the door for them, and in walks the two completely covered figures that I saw earlier, following a taller, fully covered figure. All their eyes are a storm gray. Tiju, Sheik, glad you could join us tonight, Adala says. She pats me on the head. After school tomorrow, we will talk. I nod my head in agreement, but I don't care. She will forget all about it. Then next week, we will argue about me and my future again. Tiju, Adala, comes the soft voice. We love coming here. All three figures unwrap their faces, and their hoods fall. My heart skips a beat every time I see them. Sheik is the softest, well-spoken woman in these parts, and that's saying a lot. Everyone around here gossips about everyone else's private affairs, except Sheik. She keeps pretty much to herself, and only hangs around Aunt Adala. Sheik and her two children are so different from everyone, and I mean everyone. It's like they came from someplace else. People think the goddess Hathor made them because of their skin. They have dark brown skin that is splotched with white spots, like human cows, beautiful ones. Their hair is jet black, but with white strands as well. Tali and Yumai have the same features as Sheik, replicas of her. They are twins. Yumai smiles at me, and my heart skips another beat. In fact, I almost fall over while giving a stupid wave and trying to lean against the wall at the same time. Tali, on the other hand, makes me feel weird too, but because he is pretty for a guy, I can't explain it. He has fluttery eyelashes, like his sister, yet his face is relaxed. He does have the same long black hair, and his smile, I have to remember he is he. Yumai has one of those white splotches of skin over her right eye. Tali has an identical mark on his left eye. They look like they're in the shape of some kind of flower, if they were to put their faces together. When we first met many parades past, I told Aunt Adala those were the two most beautiful girls whom I have ever seen, and she laughed at me for what seemed like days. Days, I say. Finally, when she calmed down, she said Tali was a boy, and I have never spoken those words ever again. Everyone thinks Tali is a female, and everyone in lessons chat about them, but neither Tali nor Yumai correct them. Of course, I know, now, but I giggle out of watching Anut and his friends try to impress them both. I once asked Tali if he likes being mistaken for a female. He said he is not a male nor female. That is too deep for my brain. No one knows where they came from, who their father is, or where Sheik was born, or what village has people who look like them. Who is their god? She does not speak of her past or who her family is. I know Adala knows, but she will never tell me. Tali and Yumai sit on the two comfy chairs of mine and Adala's. How was your day, doll? Sheik asks happily, joining Adala in the kitchen. Nino, do not go to your room. Stay down here, Adala scolds me. Dang it, I was just heading up the stairs. I sit on the floor with my back to them and stare at the ruddy wall, thinking of how they saw everything today with me and Anut. I breathe deeply, trying to keep myself composed, like I don't care that they are there. Besides, I don't know how to treat Tali. He is not into any sports, and it's not like he acts like a girl either, so I have no clue what his interests are. Yumai, on the other hand, I try to make her feel like she is not as gorgeous as all things gorgeous. Adala is gossiping about you-know-who around the way, who is messing around with the other you-know-who messes around with everyone. Sheik giggles and asks her how she knows all this, while petting Bastet, who is still staring at me. I frown at her, then have no choice but to face the twins. They are speaking to one another about school and the big upcoming games The games are a series of events that happen every parade season, when the weather is not cold nor too hot. The sun sets earlier in the day during parade season too. All of Egypt gets together and has 30 full days of celebrations, and all the biggest sports and games are played for gold medals, given out by the pharaoh himself. Track, swim, long jump, Montu's war, which can go on for days if the opponents do not fold, and much more. The best is the Human Senate Board. That one can go on forever as well. The qualifying rounds are about to begin to see what individuals and teams will make it to the games. At the first chill in the air, the games will begin. I heard rumors that this year the princess will be holding a judge seat, but of course the Parquet are not invited to the main event, so we hold our own games on the outskirts of the village. Some men in town melt down medals into circular chips, and our village leaders give those out to the winners. We have no gold here. What about you, Nino? Are you entering this year? I'm staring at the fire, inching closer because I think I saw purple sparks for a moment. There was purple light all around. That fall must have done some damage. Nino? I jump at the sound of my name. What was that? I ask. I glance back at the fire, confused. I see Adala watching me as well, but she turns back to Sheik, who is setting more places at the table. Are you entering the parade games this year? Yumai smiles at me, whereas Tolly has a blank face. I can never tell what he's thinking. Me? The games? No, I tell her. I would not dream of making a fool of myself. Yumai is about to say something, but Tolly holds his hand over her mouth. You are a very fast runner. You can take on anyone in the race. With small arms and legs like yours, you could probably even take second in the swim, Tolly tells me. Second? Yes, he says. To me. I am the fastest swimmer. Yumai nods her head in agreement. It would give you a chance to finally show Anut up. You are so much more than you know, Yumai says. I stare at them both, and they stare back with eerie smiles on their faces. What in the gods is she talking about? They both stare at me with this hunger on their faces. I scoot away a bit. Adala, when's the edible food done? Come sit at the table, just about done, she says through a half laugh from whatever she and Sheik are talking about. I get up fast, but a hand on my shoulder stops me. Then I am swung around with force. How in the world? I didn't even see them move. Tolly and Yumai stand there, close in my face. I want to kiss Yumai and scream at the same time. The time is near, Ninat Kano. What? Tolly releases my shoulder, and Yumai caresses my cheek slightly as they walk over to the table and sit, leaving me standing there, not really knowing what to think. They are always strange, but tonight they are hitting new levels. Come on, let's thank the gods and eat, Nino, Adala says from the table. We gather around the small table, piled with vegetable, meat, and freshly baked bread. I sit next to Adala and scoot my chair as close to her as I can get. I will bless the food, Sheik volunteers. We gather hands, and Tolly grabs mine, squeezing tightly. What's happening with these two tonight? They're freaking me out. Gods and goddesses, we bow our heads to give thanks for this bountiful meal that Adala was so gracious enough to grow and prepare for us. We are thankful for the Nile and all that the gods put into it for our race and the many races to come to sustain our lives and our way of living. We ask that a special blessing be put upon our village, and by the gods and goddesses we pray and ask that Adala's home always stay safe. We vowed to protect him, and that we shall do till our last gasp of breath. We thank thee, our gods, who created us in their images. Amun. Amun, Adala says. Amun, the twins say in unison. What in the all that is Egypt? I whisper. Adala slaps my shoulder. Amun, Amun. I glance around at them as they start piling their plates with food. Who are they protecting until they die? I shake my head. They are all strange tonight. After dinner, Sheik and her twins clean up the dishes, and then they sit around, talking. Well, Adala talks, and they all listen and laugh at her stories. I don't laugh at the embarrassing ones about me. I don't know why, but this dinner felt different, or maybe like things after tonight will be different. At one point, I saw all four having a silent conversation with their eyes. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe it's a female thing, and Tolly is in on it too. I also felt like they were watching me tonight. After our guests leave, I thank the gods a million times for their departure. Adala sits down in her chair and falls fast asleep. I grab a quilt that she knitted herself and drape it over her. Then I kiss her forehead. She works so hard to take care for me. She shifts her head, and I hear what sounds like a clink, and then there is a flash of gold on her neck. I'm about to lift the quilt to see when Bastet jumps on Adala and hisses at me. I want to throw her off, but I have had a physical fight with this cat before, and I know I will not win. But that was a gold link on her neck, I'm sure of it. Bastet hisses again. You won't live forever, Bastet. She just hisses in retort. I make my way upstairs to my room, then slip out my window and lie on the flat roof. I like to sleep outside and stare at the stars. I feel like they shine for me. Me and Dothy. Dothy! Where's Dothy? I think. He's been gone all day. All day. He's never been away from me since... He's always been there. I don't remember a day when he was not. Thinking of dinner and the way Tolly and Yumai acted tonight, something is going on. And that's my last thought as I fall into a realistic dream that involves Adala and that strange cat. Chapter 5. Adala. Adala walks around the little house, blowing out the candles that bring the home alive with light. She then kneels on the shabby rug that she has on the floor, the flickering of the dying flames in the fireplace dancing across her face. He asleep, Bastet? The cat meows. Adala lifts the shaggy rug from the floor, tossing it aside. She then reaches into the neck of her dress, pulling out a necklace that was hidden. It holds a key, and in the floor is a tiny hole that she inserts the key into. A series of clicks sound, and where the rug was, the floor now descends. Adala balls one hand into a fist, then blows into it. A misty white light comes from her hand, and the fireplace goes out. She sits in complete darkness, Bastet's eyes glowing brightly. Torches come to life down in the hole, revealing a staircase. Bastet jumps on Adala's shoulder, and they descend. At the bottom, Adala inserts the key into another door, and once inside, the entry above seals itself with another floorboard. They then walk through the corridor, coming to a door that is open, and enter. There is a cabinet full of vases and bowls that are labeled. Many scrolls sit on the shelves as well. Call him, Bastet. The cat closes her eyes and starts a series of meows. Golden light engulfs the cat, sending vibrations throughout the room. 2 golden beams of light appear. Thoth steps out, followed by Isis. Adala is not surprised to see Isis. After all, the goddess is the one who put her and her sister in this mess to begin with. She kneels before them both. Isis, Adala whispers. She then looks at Thoth for answers. You must have sensed some change for you to summon me. It is time, my sweet Adala. You have done wonderfully. You will be rewarded greatly for your service to us. Thoth pats her hand. Nino, he is not a man yet. What is going to happen to him? What is supposed to happen? Adala asks them straight. Impressed by the mortal, Isis has never had one stand before 2 gods, or her alone, and not have them grovel at her feet. This Adala knows who she is, and she is not afraid. Isis nods to Bastet, and the cat hisses. Isis smirks. Isis has been protecting the second child, Thoth says. She has been so close to us all this time, in a grand spotlight. Grand? Adala questions, looking at both gods. Then it dawns on her, and she staggers, as if the information was a physical blow to her chest. No, Adala whispers. Not there. Not with him. I assure you, Isis speaks up, that he knows nothing about what she is. He treats her like his natural-born child. Adala hides her face in her hands as she goes through a series of emotions. Bastet meows at her. After a few seconds of heavy breathing, Adala controls herself. I trust Nephi, so I know she has been in good hands. Although I wanted nothing to do with this situation, I did it for her, for my sister. Adaya died for them. I will not leave Nino's side ever. Please, tell me all that you know. Isis speaks. Let us try to keep the children apart. They mustn't meet. Let their 13th birthdays come. If nothing happens, then maybe there is nothing to be wary of. Adala looks Isis full in the face. No god or goddess scares her. They ruined her life. They ruined her family. They ruined her childhood. She gave up her life for Nino. She will not stand here and let a goddess lie to her, nor talk to her like she is some child who needs to hear that Anubis is not hiding under the bed to take them to the underworld. "You all fear them?" she asks Isis. "I fear nothing," Isis says coolly. "Nino has been glowing purple lately, bright purple. He did so tonight at dinner. He doesn't notice. It doesn't seem to happen in public, only at home." If Adala knows one thing, it is that the gods are more human-like than people know. She does not need to see that this information hits Isis hard, even though the goddess remains in perfect control of her facial expressions. "She speaks the truth," Thoth chimes in. "In his sleep as well. He is pure." Isis will not discuss this with a mortal, not right now. There is only one god who can produce pure purple light. This cannot be true. "We are watching," Isis says. Thoth grabs a hold of Adala's hand, then bows to her. "I feel like your father, sweet girl. I forget how mortal time feels. Thank you for taking me into your home and letting me be a child's imagination." Adala bows back to him. "It was not easy pretending I could not see you. Thoth, please." He nods at her. His word is good. Thoth will eventually let her know what is going on, if anything. Pillars of golden light surround the two gods. "Young priestess," Isis says, "the gods will not forget the sacrifice you and your sister made. You will both have an eternal reward here and in the afterlife, I promise." Isis fists her heart to Adala, who does the same back. The golden light sucks them both away. Bastet meows. Adala is left in deep thought. The gods, they never speak straight. Nino is in danger, from them and from the original threat. She must tell Nino's protectors. They must get into position. She will protect her boy. She did not grow to love him and watch him take his first step, just to watch him take his last breath.